So let me greet everybody real quick. Hovorden do good dog, Ola Oitervain, Vasas Los Bonso Mezami, Kezabarwini Konichiwa, Ni Hao Ni Ama, Sani Bonani, Jumbo Herbaragani, Assalamu alaikum shalom. Kumusta Haka, Kumusta Pokayo, and Talafalava Soy Fua. Now, this is a video that is a radio show, I think was Brother Al Griggs and Charles Tyler and myself way back in the day, right? Now, I found this and I'm reposting it so that y'all can have a little history on Passport Bros and what we were talking about from the beginning, the origins, so to speak. And a lot of things just got inflated, just way out of place and stuff, but you will hear the direction we were going in when we were talking about this passport bro thing, getting the passports and leaving the matrix. All right. And so you have three of us brothers that was at the beginning of telling men to leave the matrix for their own health, more so than for merely traveling and getting some historical background. All right, just leaving for a better life, leaving for a better situation. And so there's a brother on TikTok named Brother Gigi, right? And he wanted me to present this, and I told him I would have to find it. And so I did. And so I'm going to drop it on here on the social media channels, and it's a little long to drop on TikTok, but I might be able to drop a little bit on TikTok once it's complete. But it's long if y'all want to hear it, and so it's going to go on all the media channels and stuff. Now, mind you, if you're on the tube, my PayPal me and my Cash App is in the description box. I'm going to say that now. If you would like to donate to my channel and help with what I do out into the community, for those of you who have subscribed to me that know me from this history, know what I do with that. And so there's that, right? And so now let's get into this. And this is myself with Charles Tyler when he was alive, Brother Al Griggs, on Blog Talk Radio when it was a thing, right? And so it's something. So here it is.
And Charles, man, it's good to be back and back in good health.
Yes, it is, man. It's good to be back. We had a string of difficulties, but I'm glad we were able to overcome them so we get back onto the show. I'm raring to get back online here. And, these things happen, okay? All right, and, I hope a lot of the listeners out here, my followers, everything like that, understand, we have, come through these string of situations, and then, like I said, in return, we try to always bring back a better show, okay? Tonight, I've been raring to talk about this actually for the past 3 weeks. You ever remember the terminology, walk like a man? Remember that?
Right. Yeah, I remember. Yep.
Walk like a man, talk like a man. That terminology is slipping away, man. Maybe because, like I said, I was raised by two men. All right? I was raised by Charles Freeman Tyler III, and Floyd Hargrove, my grandfather. Okay? These are two men that were hardcore on manhood. And it was always taught to me mainly, don't run your mouth like a woman. Okay? And, it's like, I'm starting to see now groups popping up left, because it's today's social media now. Okay? I'm seeing more guys popping up and acting like the women that they hate or the women that they dislike. Okay? They're acting just like them. You know, talk about them, act like a bunch of hens. In other words, remember that terminology? Y'all acting like a bunch of hens. You know, gossiping and all that other stuff. You know, unnecessarily, just running your mouth. Yang, 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 yang. Running your mouth about other dudes, relationships. Here's him. Here's him. You know, and the thing about it is, oh, you're pro-black, you're a simp. You know, that's the new stupid thing. All right. And the sad part about it is the guys are acting like the women, like the AAW, the Asian AAWs, that they can't stand. Okay? They started to become the byproduct of the Matrix, of Matrix USA. Okay? And that's why I try to tell brothers, clear your mind. Okay? Don't get caught up in that. All right? Don't get caught up in the frustration, because most of the guys who are doing this, these guys who are, you know, anti-pro-black and hating black women left and right and all this other stuff, they listen to a dude who was raised by a single woman. And that dude is just acting. Well, now it's for business now. It's for business. Back in the day, he was just acting out what he is. You know, and it's a sad situation because they got a throngs of men acting like women, in my opinion. Okay? Now, when you are a traveling man, okay, and you're out there outside the Matrix and you're seeing the world and all that stuff, and you're seeing other cultures and other cultures of black women in particular, you don't have time for this stupid shit here in the Matrix. You don't have time to be worried about who Russell Wilson is fucking and everything like that, or marrying and all this other stupid stuff that I keep seeing all these memes on Facebook. To me, it's pointless. Real men don't worry about what other men are doing. Like I said, I was a victim of it last year. Okay? Other men acting wondering who I'm screwing. You know, if I'm not screwing your woman, you have nothing to worry about. You know, but the thing about it, it's sadly to say this is the type of social media lifestyle that we have come to. And all. And, you know, it's crazy. You know, tonight I want to have of course I want the brothers to call in. I want to get their take on on tonight's topic and everything like that. We've been 3 weeks out, you know, because of technical difficulties. I really want to get everybody's mind view on everything like that. We got a couple of guests on the mic tonight. Of course, we got my man Al Greaves. He's going to be on momentarily. All right, but tonight I got another brother here, another YouTuber. All right, coming all the way from Texas. You know, my man KJ. KJ, are you on the line?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, KJ. Well, that's just our name right there. But you have your YouTube name is. Help me out with that.
Reluctant Nabi.
Reluctant Nabi. Okay. You also dominating the airways too as well. All right. And what's your perspective on your? Yeah, go ahead. What's your perspective on your channel?
All right. My perspective is this: a lot of men have legitimate gripes, beefs, and stuff, and then there is a centralized problem, right? I saw your show, and I was like, wow, other options. You know, when I saw your show in Brazil and guys going to Brazil and stuff. Now, my background is I was in the military. My first station was in Europe, in Germany, and you know, so I've been outside the United States. I know how we're treated outside the United States. So when I saw you getting negative feedback from a lot of the sisters, I was like, no, this dude got something here.
That was expected.
Yeah, well, that was expected. But what the sisters did not understand, and what a lot of the brothers don't understand, is the beef that the men have. I proved on my channel by putting up the information our back history, and then I go back and see how we were as a people up until 64. And stuff dropped off like after 68, and then stuff really took a turn for the worse starting from the 70s onward. And so we have to look at what happened between 70 and today, all right? And basically our sisters was offered a deal to, sell us out, and they did.
Well,
Not all of them.
Well,
It started a little bit, but when those little bit have children and stuff, so the things that you talk about, a lot of us men, as you go on and on, didn't have any men in the community, much less the house. Like I had I had men in the community. So when I was in school, we were taught to box. That was gym class. They put boxing gloves on you. When you had a problem, you went down to the gym and you fought it out, right? That you didn't have no gun shootings after school, right? We handled it like men. But they're not taught that. I teach Kung Fu where I am. And the biggest problem is to get the women to, and it's for free, but to get the women to have their children learn something other than what's in the box. So I'm seeing firsthand, and I have an analytical mind in that I was a lab tech, and that just stuck with me. So basically I put all these things together. I put my researching abilities together, and what I did was I put the information on my channel so that you could read it and see it and dared anybody to challenge it. Now, that's what's going on. The solution is, now my solution is that the brothers need to get back to the commandments. I'm a spiritual person, so I'm going to argue commandments. But then there was another solution. We don't have to choose women from here. We can get a passport.
Exactly. The passport is the key to everything. Okay? And like I said before, I said several times before, they said that only 5% of African American men have passports. I argue the fact that it's 2%. And that's why I started the movement challenge last year to get brothers to get passports. Okay? Like I said, what pushed me to this is like I said, going back to the movie Frustrated 1, which we all seen from my man Outrageous. Okay? And like I said, once again, we still need donations for Frustrated 3. I want to put out there, we did the live stream last week, okay, and we got a very good response in donations for Frustrated 3. We can keep this thing going here. We can have this movie going. We get our trailer up and running by the next beach party coming up in November. But going back there, right, going back to what I've learned from that movie, also from other people who travel, okay, and everything like that, is that when you go to other countries, and particularly other black countries like Brazil, like Colombia, and these are black countries. Don't let anybody lie to you, all right? We blacks are all over the world. We're not just here in Africa and the United States. That's a bunch of bullcrap, okay? All right? We get treated very well, okay? All right? We get treated by every country I've ever been to, right? As a black male, as far as the women are concerned, I've been treated very well, even with a little respect from the men. All right? And it isn't all about the money. You're going to hear people say, oh, man, I only want y'all because y'all got money. They got some money. You're American, you got some money, you got a green card. All that silly stuff.
Let me say this, though, to expound upon what you just said. Do you know the difference between the men that they see? They see the men, first of all, like we were talking before, if you're going to another country, they know a couple of things already. One, you're a man with no fear. Two, you're a man with resources to get a passport.
Yep.
All right. Three, those are leadership qualities, right? A lot of women elsewhere appreciate leadership qualities in a man. We are desired. I'm going to tell you, when I was in Germany, I'm going to tell you straight up, we are desired. we are desired. I'm going to tell you straight up. We are desired outside of the United States. All right? So we do have options outside of the United States. And there were black people from all over Africa and everywhere in Germany, and in Holland, in the Dam Square in Amsterdam. It's called the Dam Square, for those people that don't know, right? And, I mean, they're all over the place. You know, you got your nefarious actions going on, but for the most part, you got a lot of people that's everywhere. There are African women everywhere. There are African people everywhere.
Yes, we're all over the place.
So, yeah, and I have some people that in my videos I open up with speaking languages from the countries of the people that listen to my channel. What a lot of black people don't understand, I speak Oi to the Bank, Brazilian Portuguese, Gudak, right? That's Denmark, that's a white guy, right? But everybody else is somebody black. So if I say konnichiwa, a black person in Japan, they got that over there. If I say ni hao ma, there's some Chinese black people, right? And then French, bonjour mes amis. All right, that's a lot of Africa when you use French. You see what I'm saying? And so you got some ignorant people coming on my channel saying, why are you speaking all them languages talking to them white people? They don't understand that I'm talking to black people everywhere.
Well, you know, when someone says something stupid like that, and I have to say that's stupid. One, English is not even our language. Okay?
Exactly.
English is not our language. That's our oppressor's language. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was not our original language coming out of Africa. Hell no. You know, just the same as, you know, Afro-Brazilians can say Portuguese is not their original language either. You know,
that's true.
You know, and the thing about it is when you get that just proves the ignorance here in America, because the Matrix has got us so ignorant that we don't even know what our true language is. Right? We'll fight and defend a language that's not even ours.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Good point.
You know, and, you know, that's the thing, and that's why that comes from being locked into me. I get it all the time. I get the attacks on my YouTube channel from guys, oh, man, you selling out, you going with these non-black women. Wait, yo, dude, did you see all the pictures in my videos?
They don't look at it.
They won't know. They refuse to look at them. I'm agree with.
Aren't them the same dude that talk about, I'm going to get me a yellow bone?
Come again?
Aren't those the same dudes complaining to you talking about, I'm going to get me a yellow bone?
I'm not sure on that one, but
you ever heard the phrase the red bone, the yellow bone, and stuff like that?
Yeah,
the light-skinned women here. Yeah, them same dudes that will go for light-skinned women here will talk about getting somebody to have black culture in another country because they're a little brighter.
Well, see, the thing is, like I said, the majority of even from my family, I come from a family of light-skinned people. Okay, I'm the darkest. Okay, and you know, my variety has never been about color. Okay, it's been about her beauty overall. She could be light skinned, she could be dark skinned. All right, as long as she treats it, you know, she's beautiful outside, and then also she's beautiful inside. But like I said, a lot of brothers out here, like I said, like I told you on the phone last time we talked, that people here in America, the way the Matrix has got us all programmed and tricked, is that we think that we are the only black people. We own the path to be black.
Yep.
These are people who don't travel. When I hear ignorant statements like the one the gentleman told you, right? Oh, man, what you talking like somebody else's language for? Or what you doing? I see you with these non-black women and all this sort of stuff. I'm like, dude, you haven't been nowhere. You haven't been nowhere. And in my opinion, if you haven't been nowhere, you can't talk to me. You can't talk to me. You know,
a lot of them are afraid to travel.
terrified.
They won't go to another state, much less a country. And that's our problem. I think that's our problem right there. Black men that have fear.
Mm-hmm. Walk like a man. And the thing about it is, right, because of that, because they have fear, because they won't travel, all they do now is sit up and act like women themselves, talk shit about other black men, talk shit about other black women all day, and then they get fed more bullshit, from certain individuals, from certain YouTubers, right, all right, who are feeding and making money off of their frustrations, off of their low self-esteem. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Low self-esteem keeps you frustrated. Low self-esteem will start having you hate black women, and then start having you hate yourself for being black. That's where this pro-black bullshit, this pro-black, anti-pro-black bullshit started. And I wanted to let brothers know. I mean, I was put in a group. Someone put me in a group called Simp and Shame, a Facebook group called that. I don't know who put me in it.
Called right? What?
Simp and Shame.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm giving I'm giving them a little buzz here. Someone put me in that group. I'm always being put in groups. I don't really mind, but when you put me in a group, right, that is anti-pro-black, knowing how I am, knowing I'm down for the brothers, okay, and I may not deal with African-American women, but I don't hate them, okay, and I don't hate being black, all right, then, like I said, when I started seeing I was like, yo, am I in the black chapter of Ku Klux Klan?
Oh, no.
I mean, it got to that point. These guys were talking so much crazy. And then I said to myself, y'all acting like a bunch of bitches. And when I said that, they all start going crazy and mad and all, you pro-black this, you pro-black. And then you got guys who don't have self-identity. Okay?
Okay.
To a point to the point to where they'll start mimicking the person that they listen to. Okay.
Yes.
They don't have self-identity. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So without that self-identity, they get taken advantage of. You got a guy running around here stealing people's money for movies that are not coming out. Okay? And it's crazy. It's crazy.
What it is
it's real sad.
It is crazy, but what it is that a lot of us, there's a lot that I learned about us as black people, even as a result of me doing my channel, right? And I had brothers coming up teaching me some things. One of the things was in one of my videos, I promise you, I thought that SIMP was an acronym as to someone who idolizes mediocre punani, right? But then
They've been around since
old
the 60s,
school,
just so you know.
Yeah, right. And so old school brothers start coming on, and brothers that listen to hip hop, right? The old school hip hop. They said, "Nah, man, it's been around longer than that." And I was like, "What?" And they said, "No, it's short for simpleton." And I said, "What?" And then I was watching MeTV or something one day, and there was a black and white film on where a white man called a white woman a simp. And I was like, holy cow, these brothers, they was on point. And the point that I make is that if we take the time to learn from one another, right, we can get more knowledge and realize that we don't know everything. Some of the times you might need to go somewhere else to know something about yourself or where you come from. Like what people think of where you come from.
Exactly. That's the thing. When you travel, you start to find out stuff about yourself that you didn't know. Your likes, your dislikes, there's things that you might dislike, but then you go to another country and you find out you like.
Mm-hmm.
And it just cracks me up that it burns me up that we as black men today are so afraid. We call ourselves men, but we're so afraid to get the passport.
Do you know why that is?
Travel.
As I was doing my thing, I started to discover that dudes born like late 70s, 80s, especially in the 90s, like I said, we are generally, during that time period, we're generally raised in a whole community of women, and we still see nothing of but women, and we pick up their attributes. Now, the difference of brothers that was born before that, when men were in the community, like I came from a home where, you know, it was a single mother, different fathers and stuff like that, but all the fathers had jobs. I remember that. What I also remember is, like, everybody on the block will sit you down. A lot of old guys sat me down and stuff. I went into the Army from listening to some old brothers. See what I'm saying? They're not there anymore, right? And so what you have is you have somebody that teaches fear, the lust for money and fear, to get things and fear. We didn't care about, we wore shoes till they got a hole in them, and now people need Jordans after one wear, right? And so a lot of the brothers picked up the attributes of women so that we lust after the same thing. I mean, think about it. All these dudes own closets full of shoes. When did we ever do that, right? And then we pick up their mentality where we're afraid of anything but the system. And then the argument is, well, it's what we know. Then how about learn something different if what you know is destroying you? But that fear keeps them from doing that, right? And so brothers need to get past their fear. They need to get out, go somewhere. Once brothers go somewhere once, they'll be over that. Once they leave here once, they'll be over that fear. Trust me on that one.
One thing I've always learned about fear, about myself in particular, is that everything I ever was afraid of, fear of roller coasters, fear of flying, height, okay? Even a tall man like me, height, okay? At the end, I all fell in love with each and every one of them, okay? I only wish that I hadn't had the fear of flying. I always wanted to be a pilot, but I was too afraid to fly. Had I gotten over my fear of flying when I was a teenager, I would probably be working for an airline or being some type of pilot today.
Okay.
Go to the Air Force or, go to flight school or something like that. All right, because I have such a love for it now.
Okay.
What I want to do right now before we take our first call, I want to bring in my co-host, Mr. Al Greaves. Al, your mic's open?
Yeah. What's going on, Brother Charles? How you doing?
What's going on, brother? How you feeling?
I'm doing good, man. Good to have V back online with us, man. I'm glad to hear he's feeling better.
Thanks.
All right.
Yeah, glad to have you back,
right.
man. I've been checking out listening to to your guys' dialogue, man, and your guest you got online. I just want to say I'm in total agreement in what he's saying. And the biggest issue we have now, looking at black neighborhoods, is that like he said earlier, the women have sold us out. Starting back from the 70s, opted out for welfare, and when you started receiving those government benefits, men couldn't be in the household anymore.
Yeah.
So as you look at it now, you look in the black communities now, there's no men there. There's no men there, and most of our young men are being raised by women, and picking up their attributes and being more emotional.
And reactive.
Being reactive and being more emotional. And that's what we have going on now, and that's why you have men sitting back wanting to judge other men, because we don't have the example of men in the community. Like he said, when I was growing up, you had older cats that will pull you to the side. And hey, young boy, what you doing? Nah, that's not what you do. You need, and kind of like the extended family from your pops. If you and your pops, but I was raised in a 2-family home, and me and my father always didn't see eye to eye. And young dudes in the older dudes in the neighborhood would put me to the side and like, young boy, get away from there. Don't hang out with him, man. He trouble. You not that kind of kid. Stay away from him. Go over here, and they would offer advice and kind of steer you the right way. But like I said, the biggest issue now we have, man, young cats are not seeing the examples of men in the communities, and what's so important, what you're doing, Charles, and your guest is doing. I guess he has his own show. Is trying to educate the young men, man. Go out, and what I'm doing with the films is just try to get guys to open up, travel, overcome their fears. God and fear don't occupy the same space. And once you get exposed to a new culture, new beginning, new surroundings, you start to eliminate those fears and get an idea of a different system. Because I always said America is a culture of no culture. It's just money and war.
Exactly.
America culture is money and war.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what.
Yes.
Yeah, and so you stuck here with that, man. And
Man, I'm gonna have to use that. The culture of no culture.
Oh yeah, go and take it, brother. Yeah, just money and war.
Dang, that's exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
They strip everybody. Everybody gets stripped of everything, and then you have this made-up Americanized thing, which belongs to no one and everyone at the same time. What makes it no good is it stands for nothing.
Yeah, you're 100% right. It stands for nothing.
The culture of no culture. Okay.
That's the
I would
Matrix.
like to say
That's the Matrix in itself.
I would like to say one thing. Y'all got my channel a little mixed up. I am sending out a warning to black men. Y'all are educating. In my warnings, I educate them as to why they should be warned, and they need to do something and prepare themselves. You see what I'm saying? They need to get passports and stuff like that. I got that from Charles. Get your passport, right? Matter of fact, I let mine go. Well, I didn't let it go, but after my passport, my first one expired, I never bothered with it. And then I started watching things, and I was like, yeah, we need to prepare to get out of here and go and try to live other places. I warn brothers as to what's going on and what's coming down the pipes. And that's why I put all my data that I've researched on my channel, so in the video. And I would say this. In the video, I have a poverty chart that I usually put up in videos. I put the one is an abortion chart, and the other one is a poverty chart. The abortion chart I put up because one of the things that they say black men are guilty of is killing so many of us through black-on-black crime, and that's not really killing us, all right? The number one, all right, the killing goes in this order. We got people that die of AIDS. Then you have black-on-black crime or violent crime. All right, then you have accidents. So more people die of accidents. Then after that, you have heart disease. Then after that, you have cancer. But the number one diminishing return for the black community was abortion, which killed more blacks than all of those combined and almost doubled since 1973. The other chart that's significant is that when they looked at poverty, 2014, when they looked at poverty, they looked at the best place for a child to be raised. The best place is with a husband and wife. The next best place is with a single father. The next best place after that is with a woman that's with a decent man, and the man is not the child, right? The two worst places is a house full of women or a single mother. House full of women is second to the worst, the single black mother, because it goes by race to the single black mother is the worst place for a child to be in the United States. So as they're being raised, part of the reason of the poverty is if you have fear, then you have fear of college, you have fear to study, you're easily manipulated by anybody that's talking any kind of word, all right, that's contrary to anything that's beneficial to you. You're a follower, not a leader, right?
Exactly.
Or you don't do anything on your own. Hence, that's why you join gangs and stuff like that. because that's your mentality. You begin to get that women mentality where you always have to be in a group. You can never be alone. You always have to be in a group. Think about it. Women go to the bathroom together.
It goes back to the old terminology. A real man stands alone. We forgot about those terminologies. Okay, and now we have people out here taking advantage of the millennial mindset that is completely corrupted by the Matrix. All right, these young guys out here, they're so frustrated, and I understand it. Okay, African American women in this country have gone astray so badly, it ain't even funny. And I'll be the first to tell you, I started off radical, but then I calmed down when I started traveling a lot, and I started seeing that I don't need an African American woman. I won't hate her. And I was in that store. Okay.
Oh
and
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And the young woman heard what we were talking about. All right. And the first thing she said is, "It's not true. It's not true." And I said, "It is true. It's very true." Okay. I mean, it's like I said, and they sitting there, they laughing at it, because there's a bunch of women. I was the only guy right there. There was a bunch of women right there at the counter. And the thing about it is, it just goes back to when I told you. I said, look, the problem with African American women today is that they won't recognize that there is a problem. It's always our fault. It's always our fault. They go pick a lousy nigga, okay, that will do them dirty and do them wrong. And then when it blows up in their face, and no man wants them, after that, now it's all men, all black men ain't shit, this, and that. Okay? And except for when they realize that when the first sign of fixing a problem is recognizing that you have one, and they refuse to accept the fact that they have one. Therefore, we can't fix the problem. We can't go anywhere. Okay? And me, myself, at my age, I can't deal with it. All right? So, what I do, I don't sit here and be frustrated and angry and get on YouTube all day and call black African-American women black bitches all day. All right? I go do my research, look at other black countries, see frustrated one, okay, frustrated two, okay, donate to frustrated three, all right, but start off at least with frustrated one, showing me, okay, wait a minute, these other countries out here with black women, beautiful black women, that will appreciate the type of man that I am. Okay,
right.
And I don't have to go out there and stress and strain or be frustrated anymore. I'm just no more than an airline ticket away from being happy and being free of the matrix.
That's because you got options, brother. See, when you learn that you do have options, you don't have to sit there and be frustrated. I have other options. I don't have to deal with this. I have other options. I can go. I don't have to deal with the nonsense, man. I don't have to hang out here, deal with that, put my money on the side, book me a ticket, book me a flight, and I go. And that's what some of the importance is, trying to educate young brothers not to get caught up in the system, because they look to take some of your rights away. They want to take your passport away. They want you to take this away. They want to keep you here frustrated and dealing with this. And I listen to America talk about family values. Oh, we got to get back, restore family values. But like you said, in the 70s, when they wanted to implement welfare and help out struggling black families, you had to remove the man from the house. You can't get it unless you remove the man from the house. Even in today, in Frustrated 2 that I brought out, if you're looking to get any assistance now, you have to still got to remove the man, and now I want his information, because I'm going to put this child support case on him, and then if he can't afford it, I'm going to go ahead and lock him up. So they speak family values, but their actions say something else. It's all based on finance. However, I can make money off you and pimp off you, or your young youth that's growing up in the neighborhood, I can come through there, sweep through there, and go lock them up. And when they get too emotional, and standoffish, I go ahead and shoot them. I just go ahead and shoot them, and there's no black men there. So when I look at some of the protests, the Black Lives Matter, all you see majority women. You see black women.
Well, could I say something about that?
Sure.
In my video, I did research on Black Lives Matter. All right, and basically, Black Lives Matter has never been for black men. Now, to do a little background real quick, Black Lives Matter black men have always been dealing with that. But what these women did is when the Ferguson riots came about, right? And remember, they sent Jesse Jackson up there, and they told him to go home.
Yeah,
they sent Al Sharpton up there, and they told him to go home. They said these black youths are really out of control, and they are going to ignite what they were doing in Ferguson all over the United States, right? We need to quell this, and we need to quell the idea. They didn't care about the CVS that was burned up. They were afraid of the idea, because then they would have to, Obama, for the first time in his life as president, would have to answer to black people for the condition. But what they did was these three women hashtagged the word Black Lives Matter, right? They hashtagged it, and then George Soros came in and gave them a couple of $1 million and propped them up. And what they did was they started an organization called Black Lives Matter, and the organization was specifically dedicated to the LGBT community and obliterating black male patriarch, right? And Mrs. Garza, I have those words coming out of her own mouth in an interview with, I'll get that lady's name in a minute, but interview, she said those words that, well, what we're trying to do is queer the black community. That's their agenda. And they're going after the men. Yes, she said queer the black community, all right, and they're going after, they're trying to eliminate straight black men, period. And so, and that's what that's what that's about. Her name was Laura Flanders. It was the Laura Flanders show. The lady's name was Alicia Garza. There's three of them, and what they did was they didn't want men to be at the head of any movements anymore, so they hurried up and rushed these women in and to make women think that they're the leader of men, and that's why you see no strategic movement of any kind of protesting or anything. All right, there's no fear of violence. There's no fear of retaliation if the police or anybody do anything, because you're being led by women, right? And the women, a lot of them are out there just to be seen, not do anything, and nothing, absolutely nothing has been done by these women except to promote the LGBT agenda. That's it. Now, if you look at what Black Lives Matter started out, it was started out as police killing of unarmed black men, and then it turned into police brutality of everybody. You see how they flipped that?
Oh, they've been doing that since the civil rights movement. When you got civil rights,
exactly.
It didn't just benefit blacks. Really, white women benefited more from civil rights.
The most, yes.
Yeah, than black people did.
Yeah, but her name was Alicia Garza, and she said it on a Laura Flanders show, and she says that she's about queering the black community. And that's what they want to do. They want to get rid of the patriarch, right? And she calls it, we're trying to do something about, and she said it's a big word, heteronormativity. When they start making just words up out they behind, you know they're trying to destroy some stuff, right? And so they're trying to destroy the traditional black family, and that's what the Black Lives Matter organization stand for. So we have to separate the organization from the movement, but the organization kind of took over the movement.
Well, it's funding the movement. Like you said, George Soros is funding. Last time I saw, he gave up a tune of $30 million to Black Lives Matter. Right.
Yes,
so,
he did.
Yeah. So if he's funding it, you can't disconnect the movement from the money. You got to stop. Yeah, you got to. You have
really
to stop.
Black money matters.
Really,
well,
black
that's what
money
we have to learn collectively.
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't need. They didn't need no money. They just went out. That's the thing, and that's what the white people fear. Those youth did not need any money, and everybody was coming out just spontaneously. All right, and when you have decentralized organization with no one in charge, no one calling the shots, but everybody knows something is wrong, and everybody just in one mind said, we're going to do something about this today, right? That is the strongest movement you could ever have about anything, because people then tend to not stop until their questions are answered, till something is done, till somebody pays a price, till justice is served.
Yeah, but if you have the movement without organization, once the movement is over, then what do you have?
Yeah, you still have the potential that, here's the thing, if you have the movement without centralized leadership, okay, and this is what I'm talking about, centralized leadership. If you have the movement without centralized leadership, and people are concerned that, okay, if we keep going down this route, these people will get a mind, because this worked the first time. These people might get a mind to band together and rush out again. So we're just not going to kill people, at least not on camera like that, and then get away with it. You see what I mean?
But I disagree with it, because after the Ferguson, you still see that behavior going on by police officers. And think the difference
right, because they quelled that. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
when they made these women let me say this. When they made these women in charge of the movement, then the movement changed, and they made the people docile. In other words, they stopped protesting for the lives of the black men and started doing it in word only, because that's what this organization did. You see what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying. That's what I'm.
Like I said,
what I'm saying is, hold on, let me just make this point. You have to have the leadership there, because if you look at what Dr. King was able to accomplish, even though he had the movement, but when it was done, you got the Civil Rights Act, you got the Voting Rights Act. I'm a big fan of Malcolm. When Malcolm came up and he was doing his, he left mosques behind. He had left places where people can go and gather, and the movement still continue on to this day. And without that leadership there, you're not going to get, like you said, you'll get the emotional aspect of it, but then you're not, no leadership, you can't get any bills passed, nobody to take it down to Congress, no one to bring you to D.C. With that kind of money that you got behind you, $30 million, and if George Soros got his checkbook out, you should be down at D.C. You should be down lobbying Congress. You should be down there.
Not if he's paying you not to do it.
Oh, yeah. I'd say if you had the leadership there.
Well, I'm going to cut you off, Al, but the thing about it is, once again, it goes right back to money. All right? Black money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Black
if we did it
power.
ourselves. Yeah.
Black money is power. The reason why a cop can come up and shoot a black man down like a dog, right, shoot a black brother down, don't send him flowers, right, is because he knows the black man doesn't have any power. We can sit here and march, we show come and all this other stupid stuff. These cops ain't. The cop right now who murdered that brother up there in Minnesota, right? He ain't doing no time, all right? The cop that ran up on the brother who was on the ground with his hands in the air and shot him in the leg, he ain't doing any time, okay? You can turn around and give him a stupid question. Why did you shoot me? I don't know. Because the thing about it is, when you see a race with no power, we always spending our money. And we do have the power. That's the sad part about it. For example, prime example, I said this before, when those young black men down in Missouri, Missouri football team, right, refused to play, all right, They were striking. They would not play, right? Until that school administrator is removed, based on racism, he get him removed, right? They were costing that school what? $10 million a week or something like that. $10 million a week, something to that degree. All right?
You have to be taught. We have to be taught economics. A lot of us don't understand economics, especially group economics.
Yeah,
they banded together. I'm saying those football players and I used to live in Atlanta, and I was in sports talk radio down in Atlanta, so I know how big college football is, especially down in the South. Down in the South.
Look how Fox. Now look, when the brothers discovered this, here's the thing: when the brothers discovered this secret to making things happen, when it comes down to money, right? Here comes Fox News. Here comes Donald Trump. All right. Here comes first Donald Trump on Fox News. If I was the dean of that school, I would have all them boys, all their scholarships removed, and that.
Well, he has to discourage you from that behavior, because if those who studied that and watched that was a powerful movement, nonviolent. They didn't pick up any weapons. They didn't do anything. I refuse to display my talent for you with this racist at the helm. You get rid of him, and we'll get back on the field. Now, them not being on the field and them losing football games, and you can't get bowl games. When those colleges get bowl games, that brings in tens of millions of dollars.
Oh, yeah.
That's why anytime you have a situation in any university, they're never cutting the football program. They won't refuse to cut the football program. They've always got money for football program. Don't have money for biology labs and don't have money for this and this. But football ain't going nowhere, especially down in the South. Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, LSU. Those schools, man, them guys sit down and boycott, and them athletes say, "Well, listen, we ain't playing until this is cleaned up. Until this is cleaned up." That's the power you have.
And here's the thing.
That's the power we have, but we won't utilize it.
Well, no one's taught you. No one has taught you.
Yeah, no one's taught it. No man. There was no man in the house to teach you. So what you got is your mom taught you that you do what the school tells you to do, because if you make it to the NFL, she gets a house out of it.
Right. She teaches you to behave yourself. Don't get in trouble. Behave yourself. Behave yourself.
Yeah, because she wants the house. She wants you to get into the NFL and get a house. But I was watching a show with Stephen A. Smith, and he had a doctor on there that was telling you the power the real power of black men right now. If all the athletes saw some jacked up mess, and if they all would have just went on strike for one game, in whether it happened during the NBA season, the NFL season, if they would have went on strike for one game and then said, we'll sit out all the games if Roger Goodell or whoever's in charge of Roger Goodell's football, David Stern or whatever, if they decided to do something about that, the police, something would have happened to them police, right? Because you're cutting off the money, right? But most of the black athletes now, again, I put up a picture where you had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, you had Jim Brown, you had Muhammad Ali, you had the Harvard Skull team, right? You have that picture there, and I put it up in one of my videos, and I was like, these dudes weren't playing. They were athletes, and Jim Brown still ain't playing around with these people.
Yes.
Right? And these were men. What you have now is you have the mentality of boys in the body of a man, and his singular focus is to play the sport that the white man wants him to play, because basically he is a slave. And you didn't know how much of a slave LeBron James was till remember those shoes Steph Curry came out with? Yeah. The Under Armour shoes, right? Remember all the jokes? There were nurses lined up around the block to get his shoes because they looked like the nursing shoes. They asked LeBron James to come up with a joke or comment on them. He couldn't even mention the name of the shoes. He said, I heard about some shoes. I belong to Nike. I'm owned by Nike. When you become a brand, you are now owned. You are not free to say anything unless they tell you you can.
Yeah, I'm gonna share. I'm sorry. Let me cut you. I'm gonna share a quick story with you, man. This is how it's so important to have men in the community. When I was a young kid, I asked my father for some money to go to the store, and my father told me, he said, "Nah, go ahead, go around to the store, tell a man what you want, and you pay him later." I said, "He ain't gonna give me nothing unless I get money." He said, "Go around the corner, tell the man whatever you want, and you pay him later." So I did it. The man told me to get the hell out of the store. Told me to get the hell out of the store, and I've been going to the store. We lived there for years. He told me to get the hell out of the store. So when I came back, my father said, "What happened?" I said, "He told me to get the hell out of the store." So my father looked at me. So he went in his pocket and he said, "How much? What do you need? What do you need?" I said, "Just a couple of bucks." So he gave me a couple of bucks, and he said, "Where are you taking that money to? You gonna take it back around the corner to the man that just told you to get the hell out of the store?" And I said, "Damn, I said, "Nah, I'm gonna go to a different store. I ain't going to that store no more. I'm going to a different store." Wow. And I took my money and I took it where I would be respected. I took it to another store. So he lost my business at that age. So when I'm older now, and I was with my nephew, and me and my nephew was walking, and summer night, man, we were gonna get a 6-pack of beer. So I'm walking with my nephew to the store, and I said, "Damn, I forgot my wallet." So my nephew said, "Let's go back and get it." I said, "I don't need to get it. Come on, let's go." So I go to the store, I grab a 6-pack of beer, told the man, "Hey, put it in the bag. I'll pay you for tomorrow." So the kid stood up. He said, "No, no, no, no." The guy who owned the store looked up and saw it was me. He said, "No, no, no, it's okay. It's okay. Here, put it in the bag. No worry, no worry. I see you all the time. No worry." I said, "Ain't no problem, right?" He said, "No." And I shared that story with my nephew, how you don't let nobody disrespect you when it comes to putting your money. I've been doing business with this man for years.
Dang.
Right.
And that's the power we have.
Money talks exactly. Money talks and bullshit walks. And sadly to say that we are so caught up in him. Like I said, this goes right back to what I said before. We're so caught up with the in-house bullshit. Okay, all right, that we don't see that we are 30% of the consuming in this country is done by African Americans. You take that 30% away in this economy the way it is now, you will collapse the economy. That demands power.
Well,
if we stop spending money, if we stop looking at NBA wives, love and hip hop, and all this other stupid stuff that gets us out there to spend money to consume, buy a house, buy a Mercedes Benz and drive it right back to the ghetto, right back to the projects. Okay,
Well, that's the.
But you
missing
missing one big thing with the spending thing. Could I say this real quick? That when you talk about who's spending the money, all right, and I think this is the problem we have with donations when we want to do something for men and everything. The system they set up was so effective that it's the women that's spending the money. Not only are they spending the money that the white man gives them, but they're also spending the black man's money they're getting from child support. You see what I'm saying? And so the black man who would normally save money to spend on big ticket items and stuff like that, wherever he's respected, he don't have that disposable income the way he would have it had he had a wife or if he was in charge of the finance. Right now, because it's mainly single women, 70% to 80% of the children are being raised by single women, and those women are getting child support, and those women are spending that money on stuff like really hair and stuff like that. And so they're making this an economy that is a consumer-driven economy and not an industry-driven economy where we're making cars and wash machines and stuff.
Yeah,
you see what I mean?
Nothing. Yeah,
we don't, and China owns everything. China owns everything.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Yeah, the women are big consumers.
The hair business alone is billions of dollars a year business.
$billion business.
Billions. Black women consist of 13% of the population of women, but they spend 70%. They buy 70% of the weave. 70% of the weave is brought by only 13% of the population. Think about how much money that is, right? Now, so long as the men are losing their money, like say the child support, parole, all the rest of the stuff, like some brothers can't catch a break because they made a mistake, and they're going to have to pay for that mistake until it's all done, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I look at child support like parole. Child support ain't nothing but parole or probation because you got to pay each month. If something go wrong, you lose your job or whatever, then basically you're going to jail. Ain't that how parole or probation work? You make a mistake and you go to jail. That's what child support is. Now me, I'm luckier than most brothers because I'm retired military, right? And so, and I'm VA retired, right? So I just pay my child support. I know I'm not going to have to worry about that until that child turns 18. I'm not going to have to worry about it. I'm not going to ever be behind. One, because I pay my bills. I have excellent credit. I did videos about credit, right? I jumped my credit to 777, 72, but I was at 5 at one point. You know what I mean? So basically, we don't understand money, and even when we have part of our money being sifted from us, we need to be wiser in how and where we spend our money, since we don't have much of it. And we need to pool our money to make resources for black men so that we can go to like Brazil.
Here's a resource right here. Here's a resource right here. All right, with Al Greaves and the Frustrated series, we still need donations for Frustrated 3. Okay? Al, you can put it out there right now. We had a okay week last week, but we so far behind to make this movie. Let's start it right here. Let's prove something right here by bringing out a black product with this movie. Okay, with donations being done to this movie. Al, can you put out the donations website?
Yeah. For the donation received last week or?
No, donations website overall.
Oh, yeah, it's
so that
it's
people
Grease.
can donate to you.
Yeah, it's Grease Films, greasefilms.com, GREEZE films.com. When you sit there, there's a link right there that explains everything, especially with the giveaway, the free trip to Brazil that we're also offering for those who donate $50 or more. We're asking for donations at a minimum of $10 on there, and brother Sherlock Holmes is doing a giveaway for airline ticket, Buddy Pass airline ticket, for those who donate $10. So you could put you in the raffle at the end when the buddies are met, so somebody will win a free Buddy Pass and someone will win a free trip to Brazil. And you donate that at greasefilms.com.
All right, here, I'm going to get that again real quick from you, but let me set this up. Because while we're talking, I'm going to put that in my next video so that my viewers will, but my listeners, they'll know where to go. So spell that again. GREEZE films.com.
I'm also send you the link too as well.
Yeah, it's like Breeze but with a G. Greasefilms.com.
All right. And so yeah, I'm gonna put this in my next topic. And get this up, and because I would like for a lot of the brothers on my channel to see it. Another thing about my channel, I really got serious about it in December, right? And what happened is, while I was in the Army until last year, I was an EEO sergeant, and so my mouth is kind of muffled. You know what I mean? So I can't speak to a lot of things because, you're the EEO, so you can't step on toes. People are supposed to be able to come to you for EO complaints and stuff like that, right? And so basically, I had to retire, right, before I could start my channel. I started my channel, and right now, I got the ears of some people, and I'm hoping that the brothers that we could get it together and do some stuff like that, help fund and support some stuff like that. My thing right now with the money I make off of YouTube, I put all of it directly back into the community, but even I might be able to funnel some stuff that way. Because I buy book bags, like bikes for the children. Most of the children got skateboards in the community so that they could play outside. And I'm giving money away for 2 scholarships and stuff like that, right? And some of my members have helped out, and so I'm pretty sure that if I put this up there, they will be more than willing to. Some of them will. You know, right now I'm at 1,500,000, over 1,500,000 views, and I got 7,600 subscribers, right? And so I'm gonna put it out to them and hope that we can try to build some stuff, get our own stuff going. Because we need reporting like that, like the first frustrated in Brazil. We need that. Brothers need that. They need to see what's really going.
The black man's options out there. They need to know that.
Yeah, we need to know. And my thing is, I'm on YouTube and talking to my African friends. Y'all are actually going there. It's filmed. You're filming Brazilian women. And I was like, dang, you know, those are real people. You know what I'm saying? That's not a picture, you know? And so so I'm gonna put that to the fellas and see if we can move some of our interests. And that's what we need to do. Brothers, we need to pitch in to move our interests.
Big time, big time. KJ, like I said, I also want to put out here. Anybody wants to get on the call tonight that we have here? We have a very interesting conversation going on right now. If y'all want to get on the call, please press 1. We got a lot of listeners in the queue right now. We also got one caller coming in right now from 267. 267, and your mic is open.
Charles, how you doing tonight?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. Al, how you guys doing?
Doing good, brother.
I'm enjoying the conversation tonight. Charles, I don't know which one of you three had said this earlier. It amazed me. I'm actually going to post the video in the escape group. I like a lot of people in the group know that I've been a member of an Ethiopian evangelical Christian church since 2003, and I've picked up how to speak in their language. So I was on an African group on Facebook, and I posted a video of myself speaking an African language, saying, you know, it's very rare that an African American learns to speak an African language. And all the Africans were just going crazy, like, holy moly, how did you learn? That was amazing. The Americans tore me down like crazy. They said, what are you making a fool of yourself? Why are you speaking that language for? What the heck do you think you're doing? Who do you think you are? I'm like, what's up with this? So, like, it goes back to what you were saying.
What language was you using?
Ethiopian Amharic.
Okay.
I'm going to post that same video on the escape group. And Spanish goes. Matter of fact, I've been writing a lot of Spanish on the escape group as well. Spanish goes the same way. You know, I'll be at the job speaking to the Mexicans who work there. I mean, not cleanup guys. I mean, little professionals who work there. And the other Americans are like, what are you speaking Spanish for? You ain't from that country. Like, listen to these guys. I said, dude, the only limits you have are the ones you put in yourself, man. You want to go anywhere or see anything? I mean, when I was in the Air Force, I had brothers who wanted to go to Brazil, couldn't speak a word of Portuguese, had no interest in Portuguese. Guys, I said, how you going to go to Brazil? You can't speak a word of Portuguese. He said, all I got to say is come here, girl. I said, okay. That's what you going there for, right? Yeah, whatever. But, oh, yeah. Language is, like I said, learn a language, that's very important.
Right, and none of it's ours. Except
go ahead. Y'all's voices, is this Al? Y'all's voices sound like a little bit. Al and the other guy, KJ.
No, this is the Nabi.
Oh, okay.
The Nabi.
Yeah, the Nabi.
This
is Al right here.
What Al was saying about the restaurant, I had an incident like that. It was, I was going to Charles. Probably knows Charles. Do you know those Indian restaurants down around like 40th Street, 30th Street?
Yeah.
A lot of East Indian restaurants down
there. Yeah. Right around 42nd, 44th Street.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm a regular at some of those restaurants down there, and I went there one day and went up to the counter to pay for my food. left my check-in card home. I say, oh, man. And they look at me like, you're a regular customer. Just say next time you come here. Simple as that. No problem. But see, that's the kind of place where you want to give your business to. Now, there's another African place that I was going to. I go in there and eat up like crazy. They're super friendly. But when I only have a cup of coffee, they seem to have a bit of an attitude. You know, we don't want you sitting in the good tables. What are you doing talking to this person? Okay. So I see the difference now. You spend some money, I'm saying, so it's about going to a business and getting courtesy.
Right.
Now, this one kind of threw me off board here. I went out from a friend's house in West Philly. I said, man, nah, I'm not messing with those Koreans this morning. I'm not going to them places. I'm going to go to a black-owned place. Went to the black-owned place to get a cheesesteak. I said, how you doing? What you want? Well, what? No, okay. I'm going to get a cheesesteak with everything except ketchup. I said, what you want, do you? I'm like, yo. I mean, I got the worst attitude from this brother who worked in the place. I said, I skipped the Korean place to come here. Now, he obviously wants to be
what? It's funny, right? Here's the thing. It's funny. I had the same thing happen to me. You know Jim Steaks all the way up on 62nd and Tower Hill, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I've been going there since I was, because my grandfather owned the nightclub across the street from the IPI club, all right? So we've been going there since I was a kid. On this day, I went there, and they had some girl in there. And like I said, the African-American woman with a nasty attitude, right? You know, bringing her personal bullshit to work. Okay, I'm up here and I'm like, you know, ready. You know, she's like, for one, I'm like, are you? She just took forever to answer me. I said, are you taking orders? Does it look like I'm taking orders? Oh, hold on.
Yep. Exactly.
But do we need why we? Wait, hold on. I'm about to spend about $10 for a cheesesteak here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like that?
That's exactly what I got. I mean, I walked past 3 Korean places
and I told her,
to go to
look,
this
I've been coming to this cheesesteak spot shop since I was 9 years old, and I never had nobody up there come at my neck like the way you just did. You know what? Fuck y'all. Click. And I stepped off. Now the owner, I will say this: the owner knew my grandfather, and he knew me. And the owner knew I've been coming there since I was a kid. All right? And I'm spending $10 for a cheesesteak. I don't even go get cheesesteaks like that, you know, so I'm trying to keep control of my diet. But when I do get a little tight, instead of me driving all the way to South Philly and giving all the Geno steaks and giving it to the white boys, I come right here in West Philadelphia and give it to y'all. And the owner appreciated that. He called me up and he said, look, we straightened that girl out. She's no longer with us. We want you right back. This is out. You know. And I'm like, yeah, you got to screen the people you got because, like I said, I've been coming in for years. I was about to go down to Geno's and say, fuck y'all for life. You know, all the years I've been coming in, you know, I get that nasty attitude. You know.
But I think the owner realized it, too.
Yeah, the owner caught.
Like you said, he let her go.
Yeah, the owner caught on to it at the end. The owner caught on to it, you know, because he realized, wait a minute, that's Charles Thurman, that's Floyd Hargrove's grandson right there. He been coming here since he was 9 years old. He been spending mad money, okay? You know, and bringing his whole family here. You know?
Business, that's warfare. So you got to look at business as warfare. You don't lose customers. You don't let customers walk out the door that are looking to spend money. You don't, especially when you got a customer that a customer that you know already that's continuing shopping there. They don't do that. Like I said, now since my father taught me that lesson when I was about 10 years old, I don't shop. I don't go anywhere where I get disrespected like that. And a lot of times when I go out, you know, I eat at the same spot. They know me. I got you. Here you go, Grease. Hey, how you doing? Hey, I saw your thing. Hey, how's everything? And sometimes if I go there, I could order the food, have it sent out. Hey, you take care of it later. You take care of it later. Don't worry. No worries.
Charles,
Right.
Charles, I don't know if you've noticed this, but have you noticed this in and outside of Philadelphia? You have a lot of non-black-owned places, and they always get biracial women working as cashiers there. Have you noticed that?
A little bit.
It stands out
at
so
a lot of hotels. I noticed that at a lot of hotels that I go to. You know, when I'm on the road. You know, I noticed that a lot. Biracial, mulatto women.
Exactly. They must literally. Let me say one more thing when I get off the line. Someone else call in. Way outside of Philadelphia, and way out in the suburbs, Broomall out there. There's one Indian place, and the owner. I talked to him. He's a pretty cool guy and everything, and he was telling me about how he sets up his business even out in the suburbs. He said, we basically took a whole year to set up this business. You know, we scout the area, what's not here, what the customers are looking for. So they do scout those areas. But when I see those non-black places with the hip-hop slogans on the front, they got mulatto girls working there, I'm like, oh, come on, man. I mean, that is so obvious. They always got the mulatto girls working the cashiers. They got the black guys cooking. They got the Spanish guys cleaning up in there.
Yeah, typical stereotypical stuff, you know.
And when I get people that are close to me who say, "You been to that new place?" I said, "I don't go to those new places. Come on, what's wrong with you?" I said, "I go to the Caribbean place, the black-owned place, the Hispanic-owned place, but I ain't mess with those other places."
But it's kind of hard for us black men to have a business because the best people to work for you is going to be family. Anytime you have to hire other people, it's an uphill battle. And if you notice that a lot of the businesses that come here that open up is family run.
That's true. It's funny you just mentioned that. That is true. Little kids and everything.
Everybody is, and that's what makes it successful. They don't have to hire outside help. We can't do it is because if we hire a sister, a brother, a cousin or something, they think they need to be getting paid Donald Trump type money because they family, and then they don't have to show up to work. And when they do get there, they could cuss people out and not even work, and so that's why it's hard for us.
Yeah. Because I said, I didn't even want to mention this to Charles. Charles, you see a lot of those Afghanistani chicken places in West Philadelphia, Arizona Crown. I don't know if they're still around. But like I said, some of those guys, same thing. I talked to those guys when they used to be around. I talked to them guys that I went there to get some food, and the guys would say, we don't like to hire some of the black Americans because they don't want to work 10 hours a day. They want Saturday and Sunday off. And because where these guys come from, I got friends from Afghanistan, Sudan. They say where they come from, we don't work 5 days and have 2 days off. We work every day. I was like, oh, interesting.
They do.
Culture. Yeah, he said we don't work 5 days, 2 day vacation.
He said all those crown chickens. You've seen all those crown chickens on just about every corner here in our community. You don't see crown chickens in Chestnut Hill. Tell me where a crown chicken is in Chestnut Hill. Okay.
Actually, Charles, I wrote a post about that. I went to a Popeye's chicken out in the white suburb, and I posted it with all the white people in there. I said, hey, the white people do eat them places. But a crown chicken, I think all those places.
Now Popeye is a franchise. The Popeye is a franchise. Crown chicken, like I said, crown chicken, you only find that in the ghetto, 52nd Street. You find it over in North Philadelphia and all that stuff. You don't find that in Chestnut Hill.
Yeah, no, not a crown.
You ain't gonna find no crown chicken on Germantown Avenue in Chestnut Hill. Okay,
no.
But you will find a crown chicken. But you will find a crown chicken on Germantown and Shelton down in the hood. Okay.
So the furthest I've seen a crown chicken outside of the hood was in Upper Darby. And that's the furthest I've seen one else.
Upper Darby these days is starting to become more hooded by the day. You
notice that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's with my ex-wife and my kids. Well, my son is. And the thing about it is, right. But the bottom line is, with all that going on, the point is that they're getting our money. They're getting our money. Okay? And what they're doing with our money is spending it, bringing their families over here, and making more crown chickens.
Yep.
Okay?
I'm going to tell you something that's really, really sad. all right, my channel, I told you all the stuff I'm doing in the community.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to pay somebody close to me to help me, like a secretary kind of position, right? And it was somebody that really needed the money, and female. She was like, well, this, that, and the other. And then when she came and we was talking, I was telling her my idea, which I shouldn't have had to tell her my idea. It should have been like, hey, could you do this? Could you help me with this? I'll pay you. Not what you trying to do, this, that, and the other. Well, I don't think it. And I was like, you know what? I don't need your help anymore. Now this person have all kind of problems, right? And I was like, you know what? I've been getting along by myself, and I'm gonna keep doing my channel by myself, right? And so slowly but surely, I get people added to my channel, daily, right? And I was like, okay, I'd rather struggle by myself than have somebody put me through hell thinking that they're going to help, and it'd be worse than me doing it by myself. You know what I mean? And because that's what you got. I was like, why you bumping your gums? You said you want, what can you do for me, right? And then I'm telling you my idea so that you can have a little understanding, right? And I mean, I was just catching hell, and my name has a meaning, and it's reluctant Nabi, because I was really reluctant to go down this path, right? Because I knew I wasn't going to have the help. But then I'm starting to see maybe I don't need the help if that's what the help is going to be.
Exactly.
But then how do you grow? How do you grow? How do you expand? And so I have to keep it small enough where I can handle this by myself.
The one thing about this, right, is that the right people always come and back you up. That's how you grow, okay? That's how all this got together, at least on my end, and of course Al, was frustrated and everything like that. That grew into a phenomenon within itself, okay? And the right people listen. The people that the message was meant to go out to. You're putting out a message on your channel, and it's going out to people. And those to the people. I mean, when I started off with my channel, it was a joke. It wasn't supposed to get this big. But the message was real. The message was real. I sat up there one night, and I was like, you know what? I need to tell the brothers about my trip. I just got back from Brazil. It's probably my 4th trip in Brazil. I said, I need to tell brothers what Brazil is like. I can't sit on this by myself. So I'm going to put this video out here. Whatever happens, whatever happens. Next thing you know, I get, 10,000 views on one. I'm like, whoa. And then I got brothers telling me, yo, man, you need to go do more videos. We need to hear this. We need this. And then that's how
Yeah, Charles,
and of course, frustrated, I wanted to get, you know what, this was the movie that pushed me to go to Brazil in the first place. So the right people will hear you. Okay, the people that is meant to be heard, that your voice, your vision, everything like that is meant to be heard. That's the same thing with me, But I wanted to get to our next caller coming in from 323. 323, your mic is still on the line. Are you still open?
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, hi. Sorry about that, Charles. Sorry about that.
It's no problem.
Oh, yeah, man. I wanted to talk about businesses, you know what I'm saying? Like, how out here in Los Angeles, though, you're not going to find a lot of black-owned businesses, especially when you go towards East L.A. and beyond. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just terrible. Because I was I was looking for an art class. And, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I feel more relaxed in my own backyard with my own people. You know what I'm saying? And so I asked one of my homies, like, is it any black-owned art classes or just, programs for, like teenagers and just, people that's, early 20s or whatever. Did research, ain't none of that out here. There's none. You know what I'm saying? And I was blown away. I was stunned. I didn't even know. I thought, like it would be some black-owned programs, you know what I'm saying, for like teenagers, like people in their early 20s, whatever, and it's not. And I can see why you got a bunch of teenagers out here with African-American teenagers, you know what I'm saying, just walking around like The Walking Dead pretty much, just nothing to do. Just bugged out in their minds.
But you know what's funny? Everything that you just said, right, that's absolutely true here in this country. Now, when you go to other countries, like you said, you do art, right?
Yeah.
You go in other countries, right? Like in Brazil, art is well welcomed there. Okay.
Oh yeah, definitely. You're right.
Okay, it's well welcomed. You could probably find an art school, in a black-owned, or even a black-ran art school. There's a lot of things that haven't left from these other countries.
Yeah, you're right.
You're right. A long time ago.
You're right. You're definitely right.
A long time ago.
You're right. You're definitely right. I didn't notice that until last month. I was so upset because I feel like I don't feel like going to West LA, Beverly Hills, Brentwood. I got to be around all them phony white people in the classroom. I want to be around my own people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
right.
It's terrible. I didn't even notice this stuff. And it's just crazy, man. It's like recently, I think I got arrested. I didn't put my hands on her. She was a feminist. She was, I don't know what you call them, feminist, whatever you call them. It was a black woman. And
feminazis.
Yeah,
they call them feminazis.
Yeah, feminazi. They're terrible. She was beautiful, black sister. I'm like, oh man, like she's cool. Me and my home was just chilling. And she was like, black women could do what men could do. And we said some stuff. We kind of put her in check, and she had her her little crew jumped in. You know what I'm saying? Because how most black women in America like to be masculine now. They don't like to act like women no more. Her crew jumped in, started being offensive, spitting. You know what I'm saying? Trying to scratch us and stuff. And then people took their side. And the cops came and handcuffed us. And we told them, hey, we didn't put our hands on them. You know what I'm saying? They were being offensive. You know what I'm saying? They were spitting at us and calling us names and trying to scratch us. And recently they got this interracial dating website. It's called Black White Love something. I forgot the name of it. But it's an interracial dating website. Black women with their slave master, pretty much. And I made a comment, pretty much saying, black women shouldn't be procreating with. I mean, like you should know the atrocities black women went through in slavery. I don't know why you guys are just, and nothing but black women from different parts of the United States just jumped on me like it was no tomorrow, picking up for their, I want to have mixed babies. You niggas are bums. Young. I'm talking about little black girls from 13 years old all the way up to probably 40. We're talking about, I love myself a white man, and you niggas are bums. And I was like, wow. I showed my people, you see how far gone our. I'm like, wow.
They're
like,
lost here in America.
They lost. Like
I said, they're confrontational. And I tell brothers, don't get caught. Now, let me tell you where you messed up at, right?
Mm-hmm.
When them women started coming at you, you should have left them. Don't get into with them. Don't start arguing with them.
Yeah.
Show them your ass. Show them your ass and walk away.
Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
You're definitely right. You're definitely right about that.
Like I said, because that's the trap. You get in there and you get confrontational with them, they'll attack you.
Yeah, you're right.
They'll attack you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
you're right. I've seen it.
The best thing for you to do is walk away because they know they have the law on their side. You see how the law came up what y'all said and locked y'all up.
Yeah, handcuff us, man. Them hood rats, feminists, was just, laughing, smirking, and it's like, I tried to put up with black women. I mean, no matter how many times they got me set up, you know what I'm saying? I tried to be like, okay, you know what? I understand, all right, but I know, like I said, you got to separate it. I know there's some good sisters out there, but try to stay away from the corrupted ones, because there's, like I said, there's like looking for a humble, feminine, loving sister in America, I consider that a dying breed. Like they're dying out. You know,
That's strange.
like,
They are.
Yeah, they're a dying breed. I told one girl. I know.
Yeah, they're dying out
three.
here.
Uh-huh.
They're dying out
But not everywhere else.
No, everywhere else. Like I said
everywhere
before.
else. Yeah.
I said this before, right? I said America is a feminist country. Don't matter if Hillary Clinton is president or even Donald Trump is president, right? God forbid. All right?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
this country is already feminist.
Mhm. You're
Right? There is no change on that.
Yeah, you're right.
It's a done deal.
Yeah,
But
you're right.
it's still a man's world.
Mhm.
All right? This is just
Right.
one country in a man's world. One feminist country in a man's world. You get out. You don't get confrontational, start fighting,
you're right.
and wind up
You're
losing opportunities to get a passport to get out of here or lose your passport.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right?
you're right. You're
I
definitely right
hope
about
that didn't end in no results, any charges or anything like that.
Oh no charges. Cause we had a witness.
Good.
You know, we had a witness, and they told the police, like, oh, they wasn't doing nothing. They were just, they was just talking.
What
and he
if
said them,
what if that witness wasn't there?
Yeah,
Right.
I know,
but
right?
here's the thing. You cannot. Here's the thing, though, and this is the problem. You cannot avoid being around. Black women are everywhere, and this is the point of my video. They're everywhere, and they have that mentality that they can put you away. Black women have never had our backs, right?
Yeah, they trade
Not
us.
as a whole. They have never had our backs. Now, they will try to brainwash you with the Jedi mind trick with, we've always had your back. We've always had your back. No, you didn't. You sold us out in 1973 when you jumped on with Gloria Steinem. Then a black woman created Miss Magazine in 1975, and the sole purpose of that magazine was to bash black men. It's because they had to separate the black man from the black woman. And the reason why is they didn't want...
Let me cut you off there, but it's going on in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
How many times you see, how many times every movie, whether if it's a black man with a white woman, or they're just friends, or they keep them away. But if it's a black man and a white man going after a black woman, best believe they're going to put the black woman with the white man.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Now, here's the
that.
thing. They don't want what happened. They don't want. This is what a lot of people don't understand, especially the black women. The black women that says black men never had their back. You know Head Start, right? You know Meals on Wheels, right? Okay, let's talk about the free clinic. Let's talk about WIC. All right? Let's talk about the school breakfasts, the after-school programs.
Yeah.
Right? All of that came from the Black Panthers.
Yeah, Black Panthers.
When they were run by men. Right? Now, what they also did was SAFE, where they escorted the elderly home and to the store and to the hospital. They had the free ambulance. These men were doing so much for the community. Then when black women joined, the issues got transferred from community issues to female issues. With abortion, and birth control.
Angela
what does
Davis
that have? Abortion and birth control, right? And then they sent another black female in there to sleep with all the leadership and put a splinter in between them. All right? And this is all this is all documented. Oh, and I prove it on my channel.
Yeah,
all right?
Yeah. I'm a subscriber, by the way. Your channel is dope, man.
And, well, you saw that. I have Gloria Steinem herself telling you what they did. Yeah. Right? And so this is what they do, right? So the black woman, and this is the warning to all black men, the black woman in general did not have our back. Now, these black women will say, well, stop using general terms. Stop using general terms. You always use in general terms. As a lab tech, we took universal precaution, right? What universal precaution is we had our lab jackets on and our gloves, right? Because in general, when you're messing with blood, you're going to have some contagions in some blood, all right?
Yeah.
Specifically, you have a lot of people that don't have nothing. They don't have nothing in their blood that's going to kill you anything. But you don't know who that is, right?
Yeah.
You don't know who that is because the blood does not announce to you, oh, I'm the infected agent, before you look at it under a microscope or before you grow it in on a blood plate. You see what I'm saying? And so basically what I tell black men to do is use universal precaution when dealing with black women. Are all of them bad? No. Are all of them bad? No. But you have to treat them like they could be. You have to treat every single woman like they could be bad until you get to know them and find out that they're not. Universal precaution. You treat every specimen as if it's contagious and it can kill you until you look under the microscope or you grow it in a plate and say, oh, okay, this won't kill us. That's normal flora. Okay? And that's how you got to deal with that. And we don't have to stay here. If I didn't learn one thing from Charles Tyler's thing when I was watching this video, is we didn't have to stay here. I saw a bunch of brothers on the beach having some peaceful fun. Nobody came home shot. You know, and let's just they party. Now let me just say this. I did some research on Brazil. You know, I'm learning the language. I'll be like, oi, tudo bem, está bem, and all the rest of that stuff, and com licença, and all that stuff, right? But this is what I've learned. I've learned that Brazil got some bad places, but if you got people, if you stay out of the bad places, then bad stuff tend not to happen to you, right? The brothers had fun and they went home, right? I'm pretty sure some people have negative things about every place, and there's some negative, right? What we need to do is learn where the bad places are so we can avoid them. And Brother Charles, he got some help on that with the brother that you talked to for the first time. And so John Thompson, I learned that from Charles, right? Mr. John Thompson, he said before you look at his thing before you go, and I looked at it, right? Man, dude's going down there finding wives, right? And I was like, that's good enough for me. But here is the thing. What it is we do not have to stay here. We do not have to stay here. We don't have to pick a woman from here. We don't have to. And not only do we have options, right? Any woman that don't want a working man is less than a woman that we should be picking anyway. All right.
Let me add something in there. Right? This is a brother, right? A brother that came at me and told me this the other day, right? And I had to tell him. I said, sometimes a woman will tell you that she's not worthy of you by making you think that you're not worthy of her. All right? In America, let me tell you something. One thing I've learned, and I had to learn the hard way, okay? Because I used to think something was wrong with me. I later found out it was morally something was wrong with the women, and I was the women here in the Matrix. Okay? All right? Nothing was wrong with me. I had to change anything about me as far as, you know, my personality and everything like that, and how I, you know, and then, you know, of course, you know, how I carry myself. Now, the thing about it is this, right? If she was a thug, a hood, or some dude with swag or something stupid like that, she's beneath you.
You're right. You're definitely right. Because I got a lot of female friends in Brazil. And they're the most sweetest people. Like I tell people, they live with so little, but they're the most happiest. They live with so little, very happy. And I'm like,
they don't want the thug in the hood because they are.
They don't want that. You know, I speak to my, I'm sorry to cut you off, Charles. I just want to say, you know, it's just I love talking to women in Brazil and just people in Brazil, and it's just like, you know, they make me feel very very happy. You know what I'm saying? And they always tell me, come out here. Got to get away, because they could see it on my face, low key. They say, man, you look tired. They tell me you got to get away. And you look tired.
Got the tired look on your face.
Yeah, they say you look tired, man. Like you're in your 20s, man. You got to get away. You got to get out of here. Get out of there. And one of my female friends, she told me, she's like, come out here. She's like, I'm taking you to, the beautiful side, like the tourist, like, beautiful side. And she's like, you're gonna have fun. And I already know what's gonna happen. I mean, I know that I'm going to end up crying when I get back on the airplane back to Los Angeles. I already know what's going to happen. I told her because I already know what's going to happen.
That's common.
Brazilian withdrawal is a bitch. Okay?
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Brazilian withdrawal is a bitch.
It's going to happen. I already know. I'm already in love with the women in Brazil. They're so sweet. I told them, I said, I made more friends in Brazil than females in my own backyard. And I've been, like 25 years of my life, I made more female friends in Brazil.
It ain't nothing like going to a country to where the hardest part is choosing.
Yeah.
Okay, the hardest part is choosing. Not have to worry about being let down, left hanging, and everything like that. See, these are the frustrations that black men here in America are going through. Because they can't travel. Right. Now we have traveled. We've been around the block. We've been out the matrix, and therefore we shouldn't have any frustration about African American women. I don't no longer, like I said, you don't hear me no longer talk about African American women in a negative light. You don't hear me calling them black bitches this and this and this and that.
Yeah.
All right. Because I don't have to anymore. Yeah. Okay. I don't have to do none of that stuff anymore. And like I said before, last week, if I'm driving around, if you're driving around in a 95 Ford Taurus, broke it down, transmission slipping, you just spend a ton of money on it, everything like that, you complain about it all the time, and then you ride up to me, and I throw you keys to a 2016 Chevy Impala, fully loaded SS. Okay, are you going to still complain about the cars? You wouldn't give a fuck about the cars after that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Mm-hmm. And I could see the difference. You know what I'm saying? Like the look, it's just like the energy. Like when brothers visit Brazil, and you know what I'm saying, and they're just enjoying, just having fun. Like you could tell the difference. Like
let me tell you
smiles on their face and stuff.
Have y'all seen the videos from last year's beach party? All right.
No, I've seen it. Yeah.
Have y'all seen the? Y'all saw nothing but the luncheon, the event, the Zumbi party events and everything. Y'all saw nothing but happy brothers. And there was no complaints.
Yeah, very happy. Yep.
There was no complaints.
You're right.
In fact, we partied so hard. By the time we made it to the beach party, a lot of dudes burnt out. We had so much fun. First, and like I said, this is going to happen again. We're having our beach party again. Our third annual beach party, Rio Zumbi Beach Party event, will be on November the 17th through the 23rd, Rio de Janeiro. If you're looking for room and board, please contact me or Mr. John Thompson at Rio Rents for Less. I want to take the time out to give a special shout out to my man Jimmy Tycoon. All right, down in just got back up. He should be probably back up from Rio right now. All right, he was down there for a couple of days doing a post-Olympic celebration right there, and also doing his video shoot right there as well. From the Jimmy Tycoon Show. Please check the Jimmy Tycoon Show out on YouTube. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, my man Jimmy Tycoon. Much love, brother, out there. But,
thanks, man. Really,
the thing about it is, right, is that when we travel and we see the world, it does something to you, too. It also has a way of keeping you young.
Yeah.
That's why I want to move to Brazil, because I want my health. I'm doing it now for my health. It started off to draw with the women, but now it's a health thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I want to ask you, Charles, the food out there, like, I know it's different. I know it's much healthier.
Most of it's non-processed. All right,
Wow.
it's grilled
Yeah.
and it's fresh.
Wow.
That's why you don't see. Why you think their women are cut like woof, and our
And
women
you know
are cut
what?
like ugh.
And the women
You
out
know?
there, they got this glowing. They got their beautiful glow in their skin. Right? It
And
just,
beautiful, yes.
man, gosh, man, there's nothing like it. I mean, man, goodness. I need a vacation though. I need a vacation. I'm not being out here stressful, man.
If you want to
Taking
come
a
down,
toll.
if you want to come back down in November, man.
Mm-hmm.
November
Yeah,
17th
definitely, man.
to the 23rd.
Yeah. I want to ask you, how much money do I need to save up, or if I get how much money do I need to save up, or like when I get out there, or like if I wanted to go to Brazil?
Well, how long do you plan on staying?
2 months.
Okay. If you're going to come down, all right, okay. 2 months, you would probably I would bring about at least, for 2 months to make sure I live life on my terms in Brazil, I would probably bring 5 stacks. Probably,
okay.
I would bring, that's just me.
Okay.
I would conceive, knowing me, I'm not just going to stay in Rio. I'm going to go to other states.
Yeah.
Okay. I may go to hop on a plane and fly to Fortaleza or fly to Salvatore Bahia. Something like definitely Salvatore Bahia is it's definitely some place a lot of blacks need to check out. It's the closest to African heritage we can get. That's where
you're right about that.
It's the main slave ports that came in from Africa. Who's to say your ancestors probably walked through there maybe 400, 500 years ago?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're definitely right. So a lot of Afro-Brazilians, they cherish their African culture very much, unlike the women out here. You know what I'm saying? The women out there, they embrace their African culture and their natural hair. And I noticed that with a lot of the Afro-Brazilians that I know.
I got people who would tell me on my channel that, those people are not black and they're not Afro, they're not African.
They say that, yeah.
And they don't know nothing about. And I'm like, for real?
I know, right?
I'm like,
crazy.
Dude, they know they can say that about us, big time.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on.
And be right.
Remember the people that we're talking about. We're talking about the people that don't know the history of the city next to them.
Yep.
Come on now. They don't know what happened to the city next to them. They don't know.
Right.
Come on, we the least geography knowing people in the world.
That's right.
So what you going to expect? This is it is. We are stuck on stupid, as I like to say on my channel here. Yeah. We are really stuck on stupid here.
Bunch of hood rats talking about you go to Brazil, you don't get AIDS. You're gonna get set up. That's all.
You're gonna get AIDS in Houston.
Yeah, and
DC
too.
Go down to DC.
Yeah,
check it out. The new flavor of monkey disease, the Zika virus. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now I was down there. When the Zika virus, the outbreak first started. Okay. The Brazilians are more. The thing about it is right now, you hear less about the Zika virus down there in Brazil than you would up here. Okay? Well, one, they only do full content of everything. One, the Zika virus is mainly out towards the Amazon jungle. Okay?
Well, here's the other thing about the Zika virus on a kind of medical front, right? The Zika virus is mainly dangerous to the infants of pregnant women during a certain period of gestation, right? And so for healthy males, healthy females and stuff like that, it's pretty much harmless. But for females that are about to get pregnant and stuff like that, the Zika virus isn't the thing that you have to worry about. When you talk about mosquitoes and stuff like that, it's that dang malaria. That's the mother that'll kill you behind, but we got treatment for that, right?
Yeah.
And so people are very more about something that is less dangerous than a thing that, if it was to come up here, that they should be worried about. Why? Because the media got them afraid.
Yeah, you're right.
Matrix. This is
Matrix,
more.
right.
This is more agent of the Matrix. The Matrix is trying to get. Now, guess what's going to happen now? When I tell brothers about Brazil, here's what you're going. Oh man,
ain't that virus down there, man?
Yeah, I remember that. It was
right now. That's Zika virus. That's Zika virus. That. You know, like I said, I have a man Junior come up here, and also my man Jimmy, who just came up here, just came back, Jimmy Tycoon, and no talk about the Zika virus. And dude ain't coming up there looking like the Walking Dead either. Okay? All right? Because it's propaganda. The Zika virus
it is.
You know, and like I said, if you want to get technical, in Rio de Janeiro, all right, for one, mosquitoes don't like salt water. Okay?
Yeah.
All right? They like natural rainwater. Okay?
And it has to sit.
And it has to sit. So they're going to go away from the beach because it's just too much salt water and the eggs and their larvae can't produce. Okay?
And the other thing is, let me just say this about the beach. The other thing about mosquitoes and stuff and the beach is this, that there is too much wind for them to fly properly, given their weight. That's why it's hard to smack a mosquito, because as soon as the gust of wind reaches them first, and it moves them away. It moves them away, right? Mosquitoes have to be somewhere where they can navigate. And the beach, the wind's coming off the waves and stuff, it's too much for them anyway. So if you're on the beach, you're good.
Oh, see, that's
now,
good.
When you bring it back towards the Amazon jungle, the rainforests and all that stuff, now you're talking about places where you're going to find mosquitoes, any type of mosquitoes, any type of bugs, okay, with God knows what in them, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
yeah.
That's why everybody's panicking over these Rio games. Everybody's Zika ain't shit. If you're near the coast, if you're near the coast, you'll be fine.
Right.
Okay. When you start going
the only
west,
thing you'll have to worry about is land sharks.
Land sharks. Yeah.
Saturday Night Live, the land sharks.
The land sharks.
You ever see that? Yeah, he knocks on the door and they eat you at your house.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, you remember that?
Back in the day, I remember that.
Yeah, he knocks on the door. You're a shark. No, I'm not. You're the land shark. No, I'm not. Okay, I'll open the door. But you know what? Now that I mentioned it, some fool is going to say that, man, they got them land sharks down in Brazil. Watch. Because I just made a joke about it. But that's how we do.
And there you have it. For those that stayed around, don't forget to subscribe to my channel.